All right. Welcome, everybody, to your Sunnyslope Alumni podcast. I am Gilbert Gallagher, and we got a treat for us today. I got my longtime friend with us, Carlos Ochoa.
What's up, man? How's it going? We're missing Julie today, right?
We are missing Julie today, and maybe it's my fault, technical difficulties. When you have somebody with this kind of expertise, there's stuff that you do and you just sit back and you just watch. Carlos put us on game. He's like, hey, I need to adjust this. I need to adjust this. So I let him adjust it.
We got it going for right now, but next one, I think it'll be on point once you guys get there. But no, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you asked me to come out here and to do this, man. So yeah.
Oh, probably. I'm glad to have you on.
By the way, I'm not gonna say what's in here, but this is really good. Hey, all I want to say is he made it. He made it. All right.
It's just like old times, everybody from Sunnyslope. We got the solo cups.
Anyways, man. But yeah, man.
Well, okay. A lot of people. So I talked to the class of 83, right? And 1983.
Okay. Way out of my age range.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? Like they could be our parents' age, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
So a lot of people don't know who you are.
Okay.
Tell us who you are.
Carlos Ochoa, graduated class of 2005. So I was at Slope between 2001 and 2005. I met Gilbert through the football program because I was there playing football. So, you're there with your star running back when he's a senior in the weight room, getting it. I really didn't know how to use the weight room. And actually Gilbert was one of the few like, hey man, this is how you do it. I was like, all right, cool. Hey man, thanks man. I appreciate it. So Sunnyslope, class of 2005. And then I think we'll get into what I'm doing now in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you take over after now.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about Sunnyslope. What was Sunnyslope like to you?
So I had my ups and downs, man. I mean, I was trying to find myself, and it was more like, all right, what am I doing? So played football, did the video stuff, filmed all that, kind of found my niche and what I wanted to do. But I played sports to stay active, and then just kind of hanging out with everybody, getting everybody to know everybody. I knew seniors, I knew juniors, I knew sophomores, everybody through sports. And it just kind of evolved from there. And it got me out of a shell. And all right, I kind of know what I want to do, but I don't know if I want to do it. And so it just went and grew. And I literally, it broke me out of a shell because before then, man, if you saw me, you'd be like, who is this kid? What's he doing here? Why is he doing that? But it broke me out of a shell. And that's what it did.
So when I first met you, it was exactly how you described. Yeah. Like you were there, and it's not that you didn't want to do stuff. Like I could tell you wanted to do stuff.
Yeah.
But your comfort level wasn't there.
It wasn't. Now it's way there. Now if you saw me out normally, like he's doing that. Oh, hey, he wasn't doing that in high school. All right, let's see him. So yeah, my comfort level wasn't there. I really didn't have that. I don't know how you say it, but like that swag, that it factor, And it kind of took a little bit to go in, and then once I graduated, it's like, all right, know where I'm going, and it just took off from there.
Do you have any like aha moment
from high school?
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm trying to. That's a good one. That's a good. So this was actually. I don't think you had already graduated, but the following year, I vividly remember this. I got booed at one of the assemblies. I'm sure you heard about it. I'm sure a lot of people heard about it. So I got booed, right? And I was like, oh, all right. I know where this is. All right, cool. This is like, it was like how do you say it? It was I was like, all right, that's going to ignite the flame. All right, cool. Here I go. And that's where it kind of gave me that, all right, got to break out of my shell, got to get out and do more than what I'm doing. And it took off from there.
That's amazing. Because like there's so many things in my mind that's just clicked. It's like, oh, Mike Jones, right?
Back then, and
now they all want it, right?
I don't know if they all want me, man. I don't know about that. No, but yeah, it was that moment I remember because you guys had won the state championship. My freshman year, your senior year.
The first state championship.
The first state championship. And I remember helping the team out film. You know, that's all I did. And it was kind of like what it got me into. And I remember Coach Maddox, hey, you're going to get a ring. I don't need a ring. All I did was just film. That's all I did. And it helped you guys out. It did.
It definitely did.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I don't need a ring. I'm like, I'm cool. I got a ring. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't even know where that ring is.
Man, I was saying we should have brought both.
I should have. I don't even know where it's at now. So, gave me a ring, and so the following year he introduced me again. I didn't play on the team, but I filmed, and that's when a lot of people booed me, and I was like, all right, I know I'm getting booed. All right, this is a motivating factor. Let's go. So that's what kind of like pushed me to go do what I'm doing now.
But I really think that's a great thing, right?
And it does. It happens for everybody. I'm sure it happened for you. I'm sure it happened for many people in many classes from Slope before and after.
Yeah. Well, like, not many people really know the value of heartbreak.
Oh, you have to go through hard times to find out where you're at and where you're gonna go. Because if you don't, you're never gonna know.
That's right. Like, you don't know until the winds come blowing.
And it's funny. It's just like me. Like, I had an opportunity in 2012. I took it, and now it's like, yeah.
So a funny thing, right? So I go to the Suns game, and pow,
Okay.
you're up on the jumbotron, right? And I tell my buddy, I was, hey, you know this kid right here? And he goes, what kid?
You're like, what kid? What kid?
He's like, you mean that man up there? I was like, oh yeah, we man now.
I'll be honest with you. This is all gray. I have to upkeep it. I'm. No one knows this, but now everyone will. I have to die this. I have to, man. I just have to. It's part of the image that I'm holding, with work. So there you go. But yes, a lot of people have sent me messages that they've seen me. They saw that video at the Suns game. A lot of people, and they're like, dude, is this you? I'm like, yeah. So it was a promo for the radio station I'm on, promoting my show. And I took my dad to a game, and he teared up a little bit. I kind of noticed it out of the corner of my eye. He saw it. He's all right. Slope's doing it everywhere.
I'll tell you, because like, your dad was going like this. I was going,
that's the guy. I know that guy.
That's Sunnyslope right there.
Yep. Yeah. So it's cool. I'm sure there's some people that saw it. I know a couple people that went to Slope that had messaged me, dude, I just saw your thing on the video board. No way. How then? Like, hey, son, just asked my company. My company said, yeah, we'll send you a video, and here you go. And so, I'm getting messages left and right from people. Are you here? No, I'm not.
Mike Jones.
Back then, it's me.
He's all, I've been watching. I remember who was booing.
Oh, trust me. I know who was, but you know what? I don't have any ill will to anybody. It was, if you booed me, I appreciate you booing me because it got me to where I'm at. So no hard feelings to anybody if you boo me. If you want to still boo me, go ahead. I don't mind. I don't mind it.
Well, let's go back to a little bit of Sunnyslope, right? So you were there when state championship. What are some of the best traditions that you remember?
So as a freshman, I remember we actually got to paint the S. We talked about the football team. I remember that very well. It was something cool that I will forever, if and when I have kids, and you see that S, I helped paint it, 2001. And then every year, just being part of football, you helped out. What else was cool? The lighting of the S, because not very many people get to do that. That's practically freshman football. We got to do that. And I still remember the game. It was Moon Valley. You guys were playing. And you went into overtime, right?
They can't hold me, bro.
So we got there. We climbed up in the middle, dark, no lights, dark as heck, and we were sitting there. And I remember one of the coaches had a walkie-talkie because they were, all right, they just scored. We see the fireworks go from the mountain. We're like, all right, cool. Oh, it's tied up. We're like, oh no, and they're like, we're waiting. So we're waiting there at the mountain, like in the dark. We're all like, all right, when's this game going to be over? When's this game going to be over? And then finally, game's over. We light it. We have to fight through darkness with these flares, with the smoke coming in. I remember I fell and slipped and cut my leg. I have the scar still on my knee when that happened. But that's a cool tradition that I remember. I do remember the Friday of homecoming. Senior, you guys walk around the whole class, the whole school painting. I was a target for the football players because they all knew me. So I think you did. I don't remember who did, but a bunch of guys painted me from football. But those are cool. The homecoming traditions are great. Other than that, I mean, just homecoming.
Yeah, because like I always say, like, I don't know how it was at other schools, but the thing that I loved about Sunnyslope is that everybody was all about us.
Oh yeah. Everyone was always you didn't. You had your beef with somebody, but it was after that. It was like, hey, we're cool. We got each other's back.
Yeah. Talk to me. Do you have any influential teachers out there you want to give shout outs
to? Mr. Fenton, obviously, Coach Fenton. I'd say most of the coaches we had in sports, Coach Maddox, Coach Hickman. Who else? Mr. Pieri, Coach Pieri, Mr. Shillington. Mainly it was more of the coaches for the sporting teams that had. Teacher-wise, I have to say, I'm trying to remember what teachers, Mr. Robinson taught the media class. If it wasn't for him teaching me media and if it wasn't for that class, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. I didn't like being in front of the camera back then. Now it's like, all right, put me in front of the camera. Hey, what's up? Let's go, So him.
English and Spanish.
Yes. We'll get into that a little bit, but I'd say Mr. Robinson, I mean, a lot of the teachers knew who I was, and, especially in sports, they all know who you are. But I would say mostly the sports coaches. So football, soccer, basketball, tennis.
Yeah, because, I mean, you hit on it with you just filming our game for basketball, right? People really don't understand how important they are.
Yeah.
With the little things that they do.
Yeah. Because
if it wasn't for you recording, I wouldn't have any record of me dunking.
Oh, that's right. Do we have that anywhere? Can we find it anywhere? We gotta look for it. We have to look for it.
I think it's hilarious because on the first state championship team from Sunnyslope, I was the only one to dunk.
This guy right here.
I'm the only one that had a record of dunking in the game.
There you go. This guy right there.
But no, like, watching film helped us tremendously.
Yeah.
Mainly I would always watch myself, obviously.
Yeah, but you also saw your teammates, but hey, I think you can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spatial awareness, when you're thinking like, yeah, I should be here, and coach like, nope, see? And it's like, it helps so much.
Yeah. You don't realize it until you're older. You're like, man, that film actually helped me out. Like, little things help me out. You're right.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm going to ask you in one word, how do you describe Sunnyslope?
In one word, how can I don't know if I can do one word, man. I would say incredible.
Yeah. I agree.
Incredible.
I absolutely agree.
Incredible would be it. I mean, honestly, people say, "Oh, I didn't like high school." I liked it, man. I think it was the best 4 years that I've had. I met a lot of people. Met you. Not in contact with a lot of people, but you remember some that you're like, I remember that person. The teachers, the traditions. Because I don't think I've been to other high schools just to see stuff, but I don't think Sunnyslope, or I don't think any other high school has the traditions like Slope did. The homecoming dance, the homecoming week, all that stuff, the bonfire, climbing Sunnyslope is the only school with their own mountain. So
that's right.
So climbing it, painting it, being part of the football team, all the traditions, man. It's just, I think there's no other school that has them just like Slope.
Now, we're going to wrap up your younger self, right?
All right.
So you right now, you're looking at that 14 to 18-year-old Carlos. What are you telling that guy?
keep being yourself, and everything's going to be all right. I think that's what I would tell myself. I really didn't. I knew kind of what I wanted to do when I graduated high school, but the plan deviated big time, and it took me to a way different path. So I don't think I'd be where I'm at if it wasn't for just all right. We'll just see what happens. Kind of everything's gonna be all right. That's it. That's what I would tell myself. Everything's gonna be all right.
That's so hard, right? Think about this. Like, think about you as that 14, 18-year-old.
Yeah.
And your older self is telling you that. Hard to believe that, guy.
It's if I could go back and tell myself, hey, you're going to be doing this, and that, be like, yeah, right, dude, you're kidding. Yeah. And then to have it see, then to find out, okay, 14, oh, damn, this has all happened. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Well, let's jump into who you are now. How did you get to where you're at right now? Because they were like, 18 to almost 40.
Wow. Putting me on the spot with age now. I mean, I really don't mind telling my age. I'm 36. I really don't. It's a number. It doesn't represent who you are, because there's other stuff. There's other things that represent. It just doesn't have to be your age. So graduated 2005. The plan was to go to college and, go get the 2-year degree at the community college, then go to university and get. Yeah, I walked into the first class at Scottsdale Community College, sat down. Class is over. Teacher comes in with, hey, class is over. Oh, damn, I'm sorry. Okay. See you the next day. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. This community college thing ain't gonna work. I'm like, I gotta find something. So I hopped around from job to job. This was 05 to 06. I was working at Discount Tire, changing tires, helping my buddy do some filming on the side, because I had done that in high school, and I was like, all right, maybe this can be a career. So I was like, all right, I'm going to have to go to school to get a degree and to do this if I want to do it for a living. Yeah, that didn't happen. Hopped around job to job. Then my family's like, hey, we're going to Mexico for the summer. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to quit that job because I'm going to be gone for a month and a half. And I was like, all right, well, when I come back, I'll figure it out. Went to Mexico, saw some family out there that I hadn't seen in a long time. Came back, and I'm like, all right, well, what am I going to do? Like, I'm almost 19 with no path, no career path. And this is where you said it. You go back and tell yourself that everything's going to be all right. I was like, what am I going to do? Like, am I just going to have to go get a job somewhere and just grind it out? Just grind it out, just grind it out and do the normal. And I was like, all right, well, I'll figure it out. My buddy's like, hey, Univision's hiring. I'm like, oh, dude, you'd be a photographer, a video guy. I'll apply for it. It said promotions technician. Maybe this is what it is. So applied for it, didn't think about it. A couple weeks later, he says, Carlos, yeah, hey, why don't you to come down for an interview? Oh, cool, Univision. I'm like, watch this channel forever. I'm like, all right. Like, yeah, our offices are at 7th Street and Highland. I'm like, 7th Street and Highland? I'm like, that's not right. I'm like, they're on 30th Street and Southern, because I know it. And I was like, oh, maybe it's their corporate office, right? All right. Yeah, what time? All right, cool. Found a suit, found a tie, got a haircut, I was like, I got my resume, which was nothing on it at that time. I was like, all right, man. I was like, oh, I'll bring some video demos so that they might. So I walked in, it says Univision Radio. Wait, no, I want TV. It says, well, I'm like, you know what? Let me apply. Maybe it's the same company. Let me just do it. They did the interview. They explained to me what it was, and it was not what I was applying for. So promotions tech is the person at that time that would drive around the vans with the station logo. You set up on a tent at the corner. You give out stickers and prizes. I'm like, all right, it's a job. I can, and they told me, hey, we do work with TV. So, if you do want to do TV eventually, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Got my foot in the door. Did the interview. Didn't think I was going to get the job. Not kidding you. 2 hours later, hey, want to offer you the job? I'm like, oh, all right, cool. So I'll do the radio thing and see how this goes. Had no idea what I was doing. Had to start from scratch, and so I got the job. Started doing that, and it was like, all right, let's see how this goes.
Now I see you everywhere.
So it led to a path. Like I told you, everyone wants to set up on a path, and you're going to go on that path. You think you're going to go on it. But then it's like, wait a minute. No, you're going this way. Okay, let's go this way. So yeah, I did that. So that I got to December 2006 is when I started with them. Still with them to this day. Did the promotions tech stuff for about 3 years with them, 4 years. I'm like, all right, I got to move up. Like I got to go somewhere else with this. So I'm like, I want to learn how to do the board, run the board. And so they taught me how to do that. I'm like, all right, well now I want to, once you learn that, it was like, wait, I want to be on the mic. How can my voice be out there? So at that time, my Spanish was not great. It was not the best. I was like, all right, how can I do this? And hit some people up like, hey, do this, do that. A trick that I learned to make my Spanish better, and you're going to laugh when I tell you this, and a lot of people, you take a pencil and you put it in your mouth and you start talking. Try that. So I did that and started reading in Spanish. With that, it helped me out, man. Within 2 months, my Spanish was on point.
With the house with Spanish or with both English and Spanish?
It does. You're right. No, it does with both. Because I also was talking in English with that pencil and it helped me out. So I was like, all right. Then the next thing was like, oh, well, now you got to learn how to use your voice. And I'm like, oh, it's on the throat. No, it's not. It's on your diaphragm here, which is how I'm talking to you right now. Like, it's all down here. So I was like, all right, well, I learned how to do that. Then the program director's like, all right, hey, man, you want to be on air? I was like, yeah, when? He's like, come in Saturday morning at midnight. I'm like, Saturday night or Friday morning, Friday night? Friday night at midnight. So going into Saturday, I'll give you 2 hours. Can't pay you, but at least you'll be on air. Fine, whatever. So I was at the station at 11:30 p.m., waiting for the guy to finish on Friday. I started at midnight at 12, so midnight to 2 a.m. Friday night, Friday, Saturday morning, whatever you want to call it. Spanish station. I still have my first recording on SoundCloud from that day. I don't remember what I said in time. I mean, it's on a recording. I hit the on button, said whatever I said, hit it off. I'm like, what just happened? I'm like, all right, I guess this is it. So you get hooked. I got hooked. I was like, all right, I want to do this more. A few months later, he gets fired. They bring in a new program director. This guy's like, oh, I want to take you off air. You got to do this, this, and that. We started butting heads. I was like, no, dude, this isn't going to work out. It's either I'm on air or I'm not. Like I was past this point of like, all right, I did all this.
Can't put it back in the bag.
I was like, yeah. And so I hit up the VP of the company and I'm like, hey, I want to be on air. I did, this is, he's like, let me see what I can do. Comes back with me. He's like, hey, I got a rare opportunity. This is either you want it or you don't, but you have to move to Vegas. And I was just like, this is 2012. I want to say I was 24, 25, something like that. All right. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. He's like, November 1st, you have to be up there. Sounds good. This was September 20 something when he told me. It was around September. I was like, all right, wait, up. Like, you gotta be in Vegas November 1st if you want. Cool. Sounds good. Never been to Vegas in my life before that.
What? Never.
And I know you were there.
I was there.
Never been to Vegas. Never been to Vegas. Didn't know anybody up there. One person actually knew. She worked in news. She had worked with us at the radio station there. She transitioned to new TV. So I was like, came back home. I was living with my parents. So my mom was like, hey, I got a job offer at Vegas. I don't know for reals. I got to be up there November 1st. She's like, with what company? I was like, same company. They're going to transfer me up there. Are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. All right. So started packing up my stuff, looking for apartments online, getting advice from people. Never been on my own. So I was like, all right, let's do this. So November 1st, I drove up, packed everything up. Shout out to Freddie Kiwis. I still talk to him this day. And he was like, dude, I'll help you move. Him and his brother-in-law, Derek Ochini. Derek Flores. Garrick is his brother.
Here, what's up?
There you go. Shout out to them. Derek and Freddie helped me move up to Vegas, and didn't look back, man. I literally just like, all right, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And November 1st moved up there. I didn't know the city. I'd never literally. We're coming up over this hill now, and I know and think you know what show I'm talking about. and they're like, "Hey, go in front of us." This. I was like, "All right." So I'm driving up this hill, and then boom, first thing you see is the stratosphere. I'm like, "All right, this is
Beautiful.
This is happening. I'm here." And that happened November 1st, 2012. Didn't know anybody in the city. Never had a full-on radio show. And it was like, all right, we're off to the races. I moved up.
Las Vegas is an amazing place, right? Because like,
so at first, I was like, I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be home. Like, I wanted to be on the radio, be here in Phoenix, be the guy from Phoenix, from the Slope, put Slope on the map. And I was like, but I got to go to Vegas. I'll tell you this, the first 6-7 months were the hardest for me because I didn't know anybody. I was struggling at that time financially. I was trying to see who I was on my own. No family, no friends up there. Yeah, I made friends as you go up there, but once you're up there, but I didn't know anybody in the city. No one, 0 people. I remember you reaching out. You're like, "Hey, dude, if you ever need anything, I got friends and family." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, for sure." But didn't know anybody. So the first 6 months, it was the hardest, man. But after that, it was off to the races, like I said.
because that's what I tell everybody. Anybody that moves to Las Vegas. So I went for everybody. I went there for football, play college football for UNLV Rebels.
Go Rebs.
But I tell them, like, if you can make it past your 6 months there and you're not hooked on drugs and you still have money, you can make it there.
Oh, yeah. If you don't gamble, I mean, it's not bad to gamble, right? But if you can avoid, I'll just put another $5. I'll put another $5. I feel this one. If you can avoid that, the alcohol, the drugs, and all that, you're good. It's a great city to live in. Great places to eat. I'll tell you, there are a lot of great food,
especially at 3 a.m.
Yes, it changed after the pandemic, but yes,
okay.
There is a lot of food after hours. A lot of good spots. So if y'all are going to Vegas, I'm sure you can hit up Gilbert and me. We'll tell you good spots out there. But yeah, if you're right, if you can make it past 6-7 months, you're good. You're good in Vegas.
Heck. And now you got them being like, man, I could really go for a $2 steak and eggs.
It's not $2 anymore, but Ellis Island?
No, it was almost everywhere.
Everywhere. It was, when I got there, it was $5.99. Steak and eggs.
That's still
a good deal. Was a good deal.
Oh, man.
Was a good deal. But no, you're right. Steak and eggs were the spot for the after hour.
But because they asked me, like, okay, what do I do in Vegas? Now I'm like, oh, go to this buffet, go to this buffet, go to this
buffets aren't there anymore. There's really not many buffets anymore, man. Yeah.
Why you gonna break my heart like that?
It's not me, man. Stupid COVID. It's COVID, man. COVID ruined a lot of things, man.
Man, I hope everybody stays safe out there. We know that COVID is a serious thing. Had a lot of good people pass from that, Sunnyslope alumni members and pairs. But man, can I bring back a buffet?
I mean, I like buffets. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you did. Now I don't know about this. So football, we would get bus to go get food before the game on Friday. Did you guys do that too?
Yes.
Did you?
Well, we were the first ones. My senior years when I think it was
because I had the same coaching staff you did.
Yeah, it was my senior years when they actually started implementing it.
Okay.
Because my sophomore year, we only had 22 on varsity. And sometimes, like, the cops would come to practice and take away a couple of our players. And so we didn't have, like, a full 22 to, like, practice, right?
Okay.
But that 22, we went to the Final Four. We were bad.
That's right.
We were bad.
I remember that.
But, yeah. But after that, once you start winning, amazing thing happens. When you start winning, then all of a sudden, a lot of more people want to go to your school.
They want to come,
and then
more money.
Yeah. If you guys haven't been around, check out Sunnyslope High School. It's amazing.
I drove by it there a few weeks ago. I'm just gonna say a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
I was like, they put new stands in there, and now they got. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, I see what's going on. All right, good for them. Good for them. But the reason I was saying is you're talking about buffet. So we got bussed before Friday. School was out. Got on the bus. Sweet tomatoes. I miss it. But anyways, there's your buffet. I miss it.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Moved to Vegas. not knowing anybody, man, not knowing anybody. Struggled, and then had some rough years there, but then it all turned around in 2017, man. It all turned around.
Because I said I seen you everywhere.
So the ratings in Vegas and in radio, ratings is money. More ratings, more money. We started turning around, and that's what we called it. Back then we called it the Despacito effect. I don't know if you remember the song.
Oh, yeah.
Despacito. Yeah, anyways. So we took off, man. Our numbers shot up. My numbers shot up. At that time, I was the only local DJ for the radio station. Everything else was syndicated. So I was the only guy on the radio locally. Everybody knew who I was. I was doing all the clubs with the radio station. I was doing all the remotes, giving prizes away, going to all the concerts. I opened up J Balvin, Bad Bunny. This is before he got big. A lot of the Latin artists, which I'm sure you don't even know half of them, so I'm not even going to name them. But all this is on my Instagram, man. It's up on there. My Instagram numbers just took off out of nowhere. I started getting syndicated in San Antonio, Albuquerque, San Francisco, Chicago, Dallas, Houston. It just kind of like, it was like you were here, and then it was like, it went like that, man. Within the span of 6 months in 2017, I just shot up. They ended up getting a USL soccer team out there, so it's minor league, called the Las Vegas Lights, and one of their guys saw my numbers, saw what I was doing, reached out, hey, do you want to be the Las Vegas Lights FC soccer DJ? And I was like, sure. Yeah, whatever, man, sure. And at that time, there's only one pro team in Vegas Golden Knights. And so we were the second one. I'm like, yeah, sure. Obviously, they had the 51s, Aviators, no bad.
I saw Mike Nixon back in the day.
Yes, that's where Mike Nixon is at. So I was like, oh, the 51s. I was like, oh, I know a guy who played there, Mike Nixon. So yeah, started doing that in 2018. And then because of doing that with the soccer team, a couple of those guys there worked with the NBA Summer League. Hey, man, do you want to come MC some of the Summer League, the NBA Summer League? Like, yeah, dude. What do you need me to do? Hype the crowd up. Easy. Give me the mic. Boom. Out there hyping the crowd up at Summer League games. Get them up, throwing prizes out, interviewing players. And it just took off from there, man. And then that led to EDC. I went to EDC that same year with my sister. She's 7 years younger than me, went to Slope too. And now she's out in LA. She's a fashion designer. So shout out to her.
Sweet. Hey, we're going to see you on the Alumni podcast.
I don't know. She might not come on. But anyways, we went to EDC that year. And if you don't know what, I'm sure everyone nowadays knows what EDC is. Electric Daisy Carnival. It's house music, all that. We went. She's like, oh, you should be playing there one day. She's like, you should be up there DJing. I was like, one day. I was like, yeah, maybe. Fast forward to 3, 4, 5, 6 months later after that, Insomniac, which is the company that puts on EDC, calls me. Not an email, not a text. Hey, it's so-and-so from Insomniac. I'm like, is this DJ Ochoa? I was like, yeah, my name's Carlos. Yeah, how can I help you? Oh, we want to book you. I'm like, what? Yeah, we want to book you for next EDC. And I was like, no, like, it's a joke. This is somebody playing a rib on me. And no, she literally is like, no, for real, my name's so-and-so. This is what I do. I want to book you. Or are you in? Yeah. Signed up. Called my sister. Hey, I'm not going to EDC this next year. So this is 2019. She's like, why? I was like, well, you're going to go. I'm going to be there playing. And she started crying because she literally called it. Put it out there. So did that in 2019. Did the soccer team in 2019. Did NBA Summer League. And man, I was on a roller coaster. It was just taking off, man. I felt like I was going to the moon. And then pandemic happened. And that kind of halted everything, man. And I was like, all right, well, people were losing their jobs. I might lose it. So who knows? This might be it. Thankfully I did it. Thankfully I stayed safe. A lot of people were, affected by it. And then it started coming back again, man. Everything opened back up and then stuff started rolling again. Allegiant Stadium was built during that time. It got finished. And through the soccer team, they gave my info to somebody from, I don't even remember the company she was with, but got a phone call. Hey, my name's so-and-so. I'm the show caller, which is the person who kind of puts the entertainment for the games. I'm the show caller for this, and that. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, how can I help you? Would you like to do PA? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? When? July 21st, 2021. Hey, sounds familiar. It's like, yeah, it's the Gold Cup final at Allegiant Stadium. What? This is before the teams were announced. You don't know who's playing until like 4 or 5 days before. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, sure. Cool. We have a rehearsal the day before, then it's the day of, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, all right, cool. Sounds good. No problem. So I'm watching the Gold Cup as it's happening because I'm like, ooh. The Final Four is two other teams. I don't even remember. But I was like, USA, Mexico. Dude, this could be USA, Mexico. USA wins. If it's Mexico, this is like the cherry on. This is cherry on. This is cherry on top of everything. Mexico wins. My parents know I'm doing it. Friends know I'm doing it. Colleagues from work know I'm doing it. And I'm like, I'm not going to say the word, because I don't know, but Oli, I'm doing a PA for Mexico, U.S. Gold Cup. And it was the first event in the stadium with fans. Because the Raiders didn't play with fans at that time. So it was the first event with fans in the building, and it was the final. Dude, this is happening. And that, to me, that is right now, if I was to list off all the events I've done, and I could give you a list, and it's long, that's the number one for me right now. Like, I'm like, that one put me up there. Like
that, Sunnyslope big champion.
Getting booed. Getting a shot at it. But yeah, man. So I did it. 61,000 something sold out. If you're watching the game, you could actually hear my voice through the TV.
Because I'm telling you, that picture is amazing.
So I showed you a different picture, but there's one that I have where I'm in the press box looking. You can't see me, but you see the whole crowd where it's every seat is filled up, and I'm like, this is crazy. People sending me videos like, we hear your voice. And I'm like, I'm getting to announce some of these players. My parents, they were watching the game. I'm like, dude, this is surreal. Like, I never thought that I would be getting to do something like that. Like, it never, and you go back to the 14-year-old. Did you think you were going to be, I could tell myself that at 14. And I'm like, nah, that's not going to happen. And so, yeah, man, that to me is the highlight for me of everything USA Mexico is like the matchup. It really is. And so to get into, just even announce stuff during the game, it was like, all right, man. Like I posted a video about it. Coach Carr commented. A couple other people like, dude, this is awesome. No way, So that to me is that right now, nothing can trump that.
Well, we got to put it out there, just like your sister did. Like, what is the next greatest thing that you could get to?
So it's funny. I'm a diehard Suns fan since I was a little kid. The one to be their hype guy, their MC guy, hyping up the crowd. Hey, it's the fourth quarter. There's 5 seconds. Suns fans, we need you up and making some noise. Getting the crowd, because that's gonna bring energy. So and I do that at the summer league already. Obviously we keep it neutral there, but I do with the soccer team. So if I could if I can top the USA, it'd be the Suns hype guy. If it's for this season or for next season, if it's future down the road, even the Cardinals, honestly, any sporting team would be, anything, but Suns would be because then I could take my parents. They could see me live. I mean, they've seen me live, but that would be the one where
we're putting it out there. Phoenix Suns, all the Phoenix fans, listen up. You're about to hear this voice everywhere.
They already hear me everywhere. So I'm on the radio. I'm actually on the radio. That is my job. Here in Phoenix, it's Latino Mix 100.3, Monday through Friday, 1 to 7. I'm also syndicated in San Antonio.
In that.
And so we have an English station in San Antonio. It's called Vibe 107.5. So 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're in San Antonio, Texas area, if you're on the West Coast, it's 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. I do the 12 o'clock vibe lunch mix. It's all throwback. So it's all music we went to high school with. No, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not being biased, but it is one of the best time periods of music for me. Is anything from 88, 89 till about 2007, 8.
Yeah.
Agree?
I agree.
Okay. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm on 2 stations right now. I'm also on in San Antonio, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, San Francisco, and Phoenix. We have a mix show that we do. It's all through my company that I work with, Televisa Univision, through our audio platform called Euphoria. So you can stream it. You want more info? I'm sure Gilbert and Julie.
Yeah, we'll put a link in there for you.
My Instagram. You'll see how many followers I have. A lot of people are like, "Dang, all right, man. Yeah, well, a lot of followers." I'm like, well, they're not all from Phoenix. They're all from everywhere. So, yeah, man.
Well, because that's where one of the things I was going to ask you. I was like, where are you at now?
I'm everywhere, man. I'm everywhere. That's all I'm going to say. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. Because you never know where I'm going to pop up, man. I may be in your city. I may not. I may be here right now in Phoenix. Maybe in San Antonio. Maybe in Vegas. I may be in California. I'm everywhere. Chicago, Dallas, Houston. I'm everywhere. That's all I can say. Is I came down. You hit me up. You're like, hey, man, can you help? Yeah, man, sure. I'll come down Labor Day weekend. Came down on the jet. No, not on the jet. I drove down.
I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, man. No, anytime, man. But that's where I'm at now, man. I'm on the radio. Didn't think I would be on the radio and on TV with work. Back when I was at Slope, I was just a kid filming, playing football, playing sports, getting my classes. Barely graduated, but I graduated.
That's it.
So yeah, man, didn't think I'd be where I'm at now. And yeah.
Once again, DJ Ochoa, I really, really very much appreciate everything you're doing for Sunnyslope Alumni podcast and all the stuff he's gonna do. And
I got roped. I got roped into it. You're like, hey man, can you? Like, I got you guys. So yeah, man.
So once again, if you see everything like where this goes from here, it's probably his fault, which is not a bad thing. We appreciate him. If you're another alumni out there, want to get on the podcast, even if you don't think your story is
any story, not to cut you off, any story is interesting, man. Any story is interesting because some people, like I told you, my plan wasn't to be where I'm at now. Be honest with you, I wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to work for Phoenix Fire Department, but hurt my back and then got into all this, and now I'm doing this, which I'm sure your plan wasn't where you're at now.
Wow.
A lot of people's plans got deviated. Some went in a very great direction. Some, we'll just leave it at that. But, any story is an interesting story, to be honest with you.
Amen. That's a lot of the reason why I wanted to start this, because we see the Sons and Four guy, right?
And I didn't know he went to Slope.
It's Slope. Sons and Four guy. Slope guy. But it's like, we look around and there's always Slope guys doing stuff amazing.
So let me open that picture up that you were talking about, because I know you liked it when I showed it to you, and I'm sure we'll put it up on here, but you're seeing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys can see it, but there it is.
Yeah, we'll put that up there. That's amazing.
So that's at Allegiant Stadium. It's on my Instagram. Actually, it's not on my Instagram, but I probably should put it up there. But yeah, man,
it's so amazing. It looks fake.
It's not, man. It's not fake, man. No, man, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be a fake person. It's, I'm real. If you see me around, a lot of people are like, oh, you don't like to say hi. Well, it's like, I kind of got to put a little guard up. It's like, hey, man, Carlos Ochoa. Yeah. Hey, what's up with you? Oh, hey, what's up, man? I'm not going to say no.
Said he wears Sunnyslope.
Yeah, and it's funny. I was in Vegas in June. I don't remember when in June, but a girl that was, I want to say a class before us. I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to put her up on the spot. So I'm DJing at a club with the radio station doing a broadcast. Quick story here. And I see this girl walking back and forth, staring at me. I'm like, all right, all right, yeah. So I get done DJing. Hey, I was like, hey, what's up? I know you. You went to Slope. And I was like, and she tells me who she is. And I'm like, oh, snap. She's like, and she told me my name. So I'm like, yeah, we went to the same class. And we're like, oh my gosh. So it was cool to see somebody recognize me. I didn't think no one would. But we had a couple drinks and just catched up. So if you see me out there anywhere, wherever I'm at, gotcha, man. Yeah.
So that's a great story. I was thinking that it was going to go somewhere else. Like this girl walking by looking at me, and then she's like, Junior, come here.
Yeah. Can't do that, man. Can't do that. No.
Well, once again, much appreciated. Thank you for coming down.
Hey, and if this leads to a part 2, I'm down for a part 2. Let me know.
Hey, everybody down. You want it? They probably want it.
If they want me and you to, if Julie can, I'll do it with you.
I'm down.
I'll do it with you because
you might need to step in for me so you and Julie can do it.
I'll and if there's anybody, I'm going to put this up on my social media. But if you go to Slope, if you went to Slope, send these. There's a form, right? Yeah, people fill out a form.
Yeah, the questionnaire.
Yeah, fill it out. And these guys will interview you. I'll interview you or whoever. It's always good to find out what people are doing because, like I said, you don't know where somebody's story went.
Yeah, you are enough, and Slope wins every day.
SWED
all day. Thank you again. Have a good day.